Hello, my name is Jamie Grundy. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today as part of Cardiff University's Public Uni series, number 29. I'm going to be talking to you about prison football. Why I'm going to talk to you about prison football? Well, because I've recently written and published a book called 90 Minutes of Freedom. It's all about the only prisoner football team in Wales over at HMP Prescoed, which is halfway between Cwmbran and Usk, if you know your South Wales geography. They play in the second division of the Gwent Central League Division 2. If you Google them, probably prior to my book, you wouldn't really find out much about them, which is kind of the spur for the project. I was very fortunate to receive a little bit of research grant money to start the project. And basically, I went to the prison and spent most of the season last year with them. I was there every Tuesday for training, and I was there every Saturday for the matches. I got to know a lot of the individuals there. Why was that important? Well, because I wanted to find out what football meant to those individuals there who were serving a prison sentence. Most of the men are in the last 2 years of their sentence that are there. Some of them are going to be released imminently. And to have a prisoner football team playing in a local league is really, really unusual. It's the only one in Wales because it's the only open prison in Wales. We think there are about maybe 6 or 7 across the rest of England and Wales, but it's such a unique opportunity. I wanted to find out a little bit more about it. After being there for a number of months, it was clear that the prisoners kind of accepted me as much as I could be. I'm not a former prisoner. I've not worked as a prison staff member before, but I've done a number of prisoner and prison education focused projects throughout the last number of years across Wales and also in England. I interviewed the men themselves, and the book basically contains the transcripts of those interviews with my voice removed. All the people that wanted to be in the book have had their names changed, and they've all given their consent to be in the book. What I found when I met with them was that there were a number of common themes why football seems to be really effective as a mechanism to engage men in a prison. Firstly, it helps with their behaviour. So most prisoners, in fact all prisoners, have got one set of rules to follow. They follow those rules and everybody's happy. They follow the prison rules. These men have got to follow the prison rules as well, but they've got another set of rules that they've got to follow. The second set that they follow are the ones around etiquette set by their physical education staff, the PEOs. Put the kit out, pump up the footballs, fill up the water bottles, turn up on time. For men who are quite selfish, sometimes that can be a real challenge, and they'll learn what is needed to become an effective team member, probably for the first time in their life. The third thing that they've got to follow is around the laws of the game. If they don't follow the laws of the game, well, then we don't have a game. They're going to get sent off. They're not going to be an effective team member. So it was really effective for these men, particularly. They were having a triple whammy of behaviour management essentially in the prison, even though they probably didn't realise it. Another way that the football helps the men there is that it helps with the transition from either serving a prison sentence, from being a community member, or being in a closed prison where everything is done for you at a very regimented series of time slots, to instead being in an open prison where you are expected to initiate activities, your day, you're expected to plan it all yourself. For some men who've been in prison for 7, 8, 10, 12 years, that can be a real challenge. So it was really interesting getting to interview all the players there and find out about their experiences. They all knew that it was a real privilege to be able to play football there, and I didn't see the kind of indiscretions that you might see on the back pages of some of the Red Tops, for example. Instead, the men really took the opportunity to play football there seriously, and they treated it with the gravity that it deserves. Many of the men, when they were at the prison, would find their way up to the PE office, and they would sit down and talk to the PE staff there. Sometimes they were there just because they were saying they wanted to talk about the game on a Saturday, but really they were there to talk about things that were going on at home, because their families are often serving a prison sentence too, because dad's not there, brother's not there, the son's not there, and that brings its own challenges. And I saw then that one of the main reasons why it works is because of the different relationship that the PE staff have with the players. So I went there, I was there for all year, I interviewed all the players, and they agreed to be part of my book. That's basically my talk about prison football in a nutshell. If you want to find out more, go to 90 Minutes of Freedom on Amazon, get yourself a copy of the book. If you check out my Instagram and Twitter feeds at Jamie Grundy, you'll see a little bit more about me and what I do there. And then you can also reach out to me and find out a little bit more about 90 Minutes of Freedom, about prison football, as to why it was such an interesting subject. Hope you've enjoyed my little talk. Thanks again to Cardiff University's Public University and Phil Lambert, who coordinated this series of talks, for getting me on board. And I look forward to hearing from some of the other talks that are a part of number 29. Thank you very much.